Good afternoon, everybody. It is Mr. Speciale, and I say afternoon because it's about 5:42 p.m. here on Sunday as I record this. I hope everybody had a very good weekend, or as good as we can while we're in this lockdown situation that is ongoing, although technically we're supposed to start maybe opening things up here by April 30th or May 1st, however you want to interpret that. We'll see if that happens. I am of the mindset that if they had canceled school, and they haven't started opening things up a little bit already, that we're going to go to May 15th. That is going to be my guess, but we'll see. But either way, here we are. I'm going to make this other video. We're going to finish off this section 8.2 in printers, and then I'll start making more videos for the rest of the stuff over here. I will go through at the end of the video, and I'll type on the Google Classroom the stuff that I'm making, the rest of the stuff that I'm making for this week. We left off on the laser printing process, which is, I'll let you read this on your own. It's really kind of boring. It's not anything that you'll use in the real world unless you go to work for a printing company and stuff. I've never used any of this, so I personally don't find it to be all that important. I'm going to skip through it. Thermal printers are like what you see on printed out receipts when you go to Walmart, Big Five Sports, Vons, wherever you go for shopping. And thermal paper is chemically treated with a waxy quality. And when the paper becomes black, when it's heated. So they apply some heat and transfer that onto that waxy paper. That's why, if I, like I said in the last video, like if you take a receipt from the store and you leave it in your car and it happens to be like on a dashboard or something, the sun will just turn that whole receipt black. And then you can't read it. So that's how you know you have something printed from a thermal printer. Impact printing. This is old school. This is like that paper with the holes along the sides, and you have the little, see this little carriage mechanism over here, it goes back and forth. Dot matrix printer with the print head, as you read this part here, is really harkening back to the early days of printing. I had a printer like this. I think it was the first printer that I had. When I was in, like, say, 8th grade, 9th grade, I had a very simple word processor, so I would type stuff up for school and print it at home. You're not going to see these unless you're working. You know what? I shouldn't say you're not going to. You know where I see a lot of these printers? Like if you go to get your car fixed, if you go with your family, or as you guys are now continuing to get older, have your own vehicles, you take it to like Meineke or, Jiffy Lube or something like that. They'll print out a receipt, and a lot of their stuff is all dot matrix printing. So I guess you will see it depending on the thing. You're not going to, depending on the industry, you're not going to see this in like a modern technology. You're not going to see this at Reality Quest. I guarantee you that. There ain't no dot matrix printers laying around. And it uses continuous feed paper. So you have like the box of paper, and all the paper's kind of like connected with that perforated line, so you can kind of tear it real easy. And it kind of feeds through that, almost like a spool, but it's in a box. And it feeds the printer continuously and uses the holes on the sides and a spool to kind of drive that through. And then a motor pulls those spools as it prints. But there's really not much to these, and they're not really a modern thing per se. We're going to blow through this too, because I don't find that to be. This is actually somewhat relevant. I'm going to give you an example of this. Virtual printers. Virtual printing does not send your print job to a printer, but instead to software. Now, you may ask yourself, why would I do that? Well, I will tell you why. Let's just say here is a paper that I wrote for a class that I was taking about how to do an icebreaker in a class, right? Say I needed to send this to somebody, but they need it in a PDF, right? Unless I have spent hundreds of dollars for the Adobe software where I can copy and paste this into Adobe PDF, no one's really going to do that. There is a far simpler way. When I hit File over here and then click Print, it's going to give me the print window, right? Here's my actual printer. That's, if you can hear it, sitting next to me while I'm recording this. If I do the drop-down box, it gives me some choices. Here's my old printer. I have to get that out of there. I have to go into my Google settings and erase that. Save as PDF. It will go through the process of, and I'm using air quotes since you can't see me, printing the file, but it will print it to a PDF. It'll print it to a Adobe PDF thing. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to hit Save the PDF. I'll hit Save. Takes a second, right? It's going to give me another window here. And it's the same kind of window like you were saving a file to your desktop. I'm just going to name this test. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. And now it's done. But if I go here, here's now an Adobe PDF file when I click test. I need more RAM in this PC. But that's a discussion for another day. See how long it's taken? See, my computer is pretty good at some of this stuff, but the screen record software is running, and my computer doesn't like doing extra stuff. And that's because I only have 8 gig of RAM in this machine. I need to get up to 16, if not 32, if I can. Anyway, so here's the PDF now. Why you want to do that, by the way, is when you're in that Google Doc, right? Someone could take this and change the content, start typing their own thing in there. Whereas a PDF, it's locked. You can't type and change this, not easily. Adobe, like the full version of Adobe PDF, you can, but you can make it where it's a little bit more secure, where you submit it as a PDF, and like the average user won't be able to alter this document at least easily. So that's really one of the main reasons why you would want to use printing to a virtual printer. But everything I just explained and showed you how I did that is what this is. Printing to a PDF. This other file type, XPS, it's supposed to be like the Microsoft version of PDF. Nobody uses this. Printing to an image means you could create your document, make it a JPEG or a TIFF file. JPEG, you know what that is. Okay, just a regular picture file. A TIFF file is a type of file type that fax machines use. So you can make it that file type, so it's easier if you have a software on your computer that can send faxes out, and then you use that file, it'll format it correctly for the fax machine. That's all this is. It's not not like not like what we'd use like VirtualBox, where we have all like simulated emulating computers and stuff. Not anything anywhere near that complicated. It's merely you're taking whatever document you created and you're printing it to a file, and it's usually a different file format than what you originally created your document at. That's all this is. So really kind of nice and straightforward and easy. Cloud printing. On my iPhone, just like you see this picture here, I could print to my printer here in the house from my iPhone. Okay, because my printer has its own Wi-Fi. That's not necessarily cloud printing, but this printer is also connected to my Google account. So if I'm sitting at school and I have a document and I want to print it to my printer at home, it's connected to my Google account via the cloud, right? Because my Google account gives me access and syncs all my settings everywhere I go, so that I can say, wow, look, I have this file here at home. I have this file here at work. I need to print it on my printer at home because Aurora needs to take it to school with her, and I forgot to do something, whatever. Oh, here you go. I could send it to the printer at my house. Aurora can grab it, sign what she needs to sign, and bring it to Shadow and do whatever she needs to do with it. That's just like one minor example. My phone. If I'm using Google Cloud Print Services and I have my printer set up through that, I could be at Veronica's soccer game, and somebody can be like, hey, listen, when you get home, could you print me up something? Because, yeah, sure. Which one do you need? And I could sit there on my phone, choose to print it, send it to my printer at home. It comes in handy for really rare circumstances. You would think it's really useful. It's not as useful as you think, in my opinion. But it is neat that you're able to do that. So Google Cloud Print is really what I do. What cloud printing is really good for is if you have all of your, say, company printers set up in the cloud, then all your employees can access all the company printers from any device, and it kind of gives your employees flexibility in how they go through their business process. So that part is actually important. So I shouldn't say it's really bad or useless. I personally don't get a lot of use for it, but I could see the business case for it. You, as an IT person, should you go into that field, would have to support cloud printing and we're going to get into this in the next sections that I'm not recording the video for today, where we talk about setting up a print server and sharing printers on a network and all that stuff. So this kind of touches on that. Cloud printing makes it where everybody in an organization can use all the printers that are shared to that organization via the cloud, just like we share files in Google Drive, just like we do that. So that's really kind of like the main thing with that. Introduced by Microsoft XML, da 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 da. This is print to XPS. Nobody in the planet really used. They tried to make a competitor to PDFs, and it never worked. Prevent others from easily copying the content. You could choose to print in the type file format, just as JPEG or TIFF. That is virtual printing. I described that. Print software that sends a job to a file or transmits information to a remote destination in the cloud for printing. Print to file. Yeah, I'm starting to think that this might be reversed. See, that's why you can't blow through this stuff. The PM file can be quickly printed at any time without opening the original document. Huh. We must have skipped over that. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. This allows your printer to connect to the web. After it's connected, you can send print jobs anywhere that it has internet access. Huh? Huh. Let's see. What did I get wrong? Okay, print to file, print to image. So these are reversed. So I wasn't so bad. So print to image. I should have print to image. That should have been the hint right there. JPEG is an image file. I didn't. I'm doing this really quickly, so I kind of screwed that up. So Jack, there you go. All right, we're going to stop here. And 3D printers I'll touch on, but we don't have to worry about that too much. I want to get to installing and configuring printers because that's kind of like the real important section. I'm going to stop there. I created a gym kit for this first couple of parts here. It's not a lot of questions. There's only like maybe 6 or 7 questions on printers, and then I put some dopey trivia questions that have nothing to do with cybersecurity on there for you guys to hang out with. So I'm going to assign a gym kit. I'm going to post this video. So you'll have 2 videos and a gym kit waiting for you when you hopefully see this on Monday morning, April 27th. I hope everybody is being safe. I hope everybody is well. If you need anything, cell number, email, that's all up on our Google Classroom. So if you need anything, please reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll talk to and see everybody next week. Bye.